Take a slow breath. Let the noise inside you settle. Let your thoughts loosen their grip. Let your spirit open again. You've been living like you have to fight for every blessing. Like you have to beg for every good thing. Like you must earn every small moment of peace. Like there isn't enough for you. But hear this clearly. God has more than enough for you. You don't have to scramble. You don't have to chase. You don't have to fear losing what was never meant for someone else. What is yours cannot be stolen. What is yours cannot be blocked. What is yours cannot disappear. What is yours does not depend on someone else's approval. God doesn't operate in scarcity. Scarcity is a human condition. Scarcity is the language of fear. Scarcity is the mindset of someone who learned to survive, not someone who knows they are supported. But God is not limited, not exhausted, not overwhelmed, not running out of supply. God has more than enough for you, more than enough strength, more than enough peace, more than enough opportunities, more than enough healing, more than enough direction, more than enough grace. Yet you've lived small. You've lived in worry. You've lived in self-doubt. You've lived expecting the bare minimum from life. Not because you are weak, but because you were wounded, because you were trained by disappointment, because you learned to expect just enough to survive. But you didn't come here to survive. You came here to live, to grow, to rise, to walk in purpose. And purpose does not grow in scarcity. Purpose grows in abundance. Purpose grows in trust. Purpose grows in faith. Take another breath. You don't need to understand everything right now. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to force anything. You only need to open your heart to this truth. God has more than enough for you. And not just spiritually, emotionally, mentally, financially, relationally. In every area where you felt shortage, God has supply. Now listen carefully. Life may have taught you that blessings are rare, that opportunities only come once, that love is something you have to chase, that good things don't last. But those are old lessons. Lessons from your past, not your future. You are stepping into a new season. A season where your mindset shifts, where fear loosens its hold, where trust begins to grow roots. God is not withholding from you. God is preparing you, strengthening you, positioning you, aligning you. You have not been overlooked. You have not been forgotten. You have not been denied. Your blessing is not late. Your breakthrough is not lost. Your purpose has not expired. The timing of your life is not broken. It is unfolding. Say this quietly inside your heart. There is enough for me. Again, there is enough for me. Feel the resistance. Feel the discomfort. That is the old mindset trying to hold on. But today you release scarcity. You release the fear of not having enough. You release the belief that everything good will slip away. Now breathe again. God has more than enough for you. Even when you feel empty. Even when you feel behind. Even when you feel unsure. Even when nothing looks the way you expected. Abundance with God does not start outside. It begins inside. It begins in your thinking. It begins in your expectation. It begins in your willingness to believe that more is possible for you. Now let's speak into the places in your life that feel lacking. Not to shame them, but to fill them, to awaken them, to remind them that God is not done. Think of the area of your life where you feel the most uncertainty, where you feel the most pressure, where you feel the most fear. Hold that area in your mind. Now speak this gently inside. God has enough for this part of my life too. Yes, let that truth soften you. Let it loosen the tightness in your chest. Let it wash away the sense of urgency you've been carrying. You are not in danger of missing your blessing. You are not in danger of running out of time. You are not in danger of being left behind. That fear is lying to you. That fear is outdated. That fear is not aligned with your destiny. You are moving toward abundance, not away from it. Now listen closely. There is something you need to understand. God's more than enough does not always come in obvious ways. Sometimes it begins as a shift in your thinking. Sometimes it begins as courage returning. Sometimes it begins as doors closing so better doors can open. Sometimes it begins as silence. Silence that feels uncomfortable, but is actually preparation. Silence is not absence. Silence is not punishment. Silence is alignment. Now breathe again, slow and gentle. God is not asking you to hustle harder. God is asking you to trust deeper, to open your heart wider, to release what hurts faster, to believe what is possible louder, because fear's biggest weapon is making you feel like there isn't enough. Not enough time, not enough support, not enough resources, not enough strength, not enough grace, not enough opportunity. But that is fear's lie, not God's truth. God is not measuring your blessings. God is not rationing your hope. God is not calculating your worth by your past. The supply of heaven does not run on limits. It runs on love, on purpose, on grace, on timing, and timing is shifting for you. Now whisper this inside yourself. I welcome God's abundance. Again, I welcome God's abundance. Your spirit is opening. Your expectations are rising. This is the first sign that your life is expanding. It expands from the inside out. Now we move deeper into the message. Scarcity trains you to doubt. Abundance trains you to trust. Scarcity says, hold on tight. There might not be more. Abundance says, release. What is coming is greater. Scarcity says, you will lose everything. Abundance says, you will gain what aligns with who you are becoming. Scarcity says, you're alone. Abundance says, you are supported by heaven itself. You have lived in scarcity for too long. Scarcity of peace. Scarcity of joy. Scarcity of hope. Scarcity of confidence. But no more. Your mindset is shifting. Your spirit is expanding. Your inner world is awakening. You are learning to expect goodness. You are learning to trust timing. You are learning to walk with confidence. You are learning to step out of fear. Now breathe again. You may not see the full picture, but something in you feels it. A quiet pull forward. A whisper that says, your turn is coming. A soft knowing that your life is not stuck. That is your spirit aligning with abundance. Now hear this truth deeply. You don't have to shrink yourself to fit into scarcity. You don't have to limit your dreams. You don't have to fear wanting more. God is not angry when you desire good things. God is not threatened by your hope. God is not disappointed when you aim higher. Desire is not selfish when it is aligned with purpose. Desire is a signal of what your soul is ready for. You can want more peace. You can want more clarity. You can want more love. You can want more opportunities. You can want more strength. There is no shame in asking for what God has plenty of. Say this line inside your spirit. I am not afraid to receive more. Again, I am not afraid to receive more. Your fear is loosening. Your spirit is stretching. Your faith is rising. Now we go deeper. There are places in your life where you settled, not because you wanted to, but because you didn't believe more was possible. You accepted little, because little felt safe. You accepted stress, because peace felt unfamiliar. You accepted inconsistency, because consistency felt unrealistic. But now you know the truth. God has more than enough. Enough to lift you. Enough to redirect you. Enough to heal you. Enough to rebuild you. Enough to surprise you. You will not be living on scraps of hope anymore. You will not be living on leftover blessings. You will not be living in cycles that drain you. You are stepping into a new flow. A flow of provision. A flow of opportunity. A flow of clarity. A flow of peace. Nothing in your life is too broken for God to rebuild. Nothing in your story is too late for God to redeem. Nothing in your heart is too damaged for God to restore. Now whisper this. My life is expanding. Again. My life is expanding. And once more. My life is expanding. You are not imagining the shift. You are experiencing it. Take another slow breath. Feel your spirit steady. Feel your heart open wider. Feel your expectations rise gently. You are ready for more. Not because life is perfect, but because your mindset is shifting. Abundance begins with readiness. Readiness begins with belief. Belief begins with a single thought. More is possible for me. And now we go deeper into that truth. Listen carefully. You have lived in seasons where nothing made sense. Seasons where you felt like everything was taken from you. Seasons where you questioned whether life was ever going to get better. But even in those seasons, God was not empty. Love was not empty. Purpose was not empty. There was always supply. You just couldn't see it yet. Now your eyes are opening. Now you are beginning to understand. Now you are learning to receive again. Because abundance does not begin with having more. It begins with believing again. Say this quietly in your heart. I believe there is more for me. Good. Let that truth settle into the places that lost hope. You spent years thinking you had to compete. For love. For recognition. For opportunity. For peace. But you are not in competition with anyone. Your journey is yours alone. Your blessings are yours alone. Your timing is yours alone. God has more than enough. Enough pathways. Enough openings. Enough healing. Enough restoration. You do not have to rush. You do not have to fight for a spot. You do not have to prove your worth. You simply have to align with the truth. That abundance exists for you too. Now breathe again. Let go of the fear that says, good things run out. Good things do not run out. You just haven't reached them all yet. Let go of the lie that says, you've missed your chance. You cannot miss what is designed for you. It circles back until you are ready. Let go of the worry that says, nothing good lasts. Good things last. When you stop expecting them to disappear. Now soften your shoulders. Let the heaviness fall. You have carried survival energy for too long. Survival is heavy. Survival is tense. Survival is exhausting. Survival teaches you to expect the minimum. But you are entering a season where you no longer survive. You grow. You rise. You expand. Survival kept you alive. But abundance will help you live. Say this softly. I release the mindset of survival. Again. I release the mindset of survival. Your spirit is transitioning. You can feel it. A quiet strength. A slow lifting. A gentle forward pull. This is what stepping into abundance feels like. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just real. Just steady. Just true. Now we speak into the areas of your life that have lived under the weight of not enough. Let's begin with peace. You've had days where peace felt impossible. Where your mind was restless. Where your heart was unsettled. Where silence felt heavier than noise. But peace does not come from outside. It comes from alignment. From trust. From letting go. Say inside yourself, I have enough peace available to me. Again, I have enough peace available to me. Peace is not rare. Peace is not fragile. Peace is always there. You are just learning how to receive it. Now let's speak into love. You've been hurt before. You've been disappointed. You've been abandoned by people you trusted. You've stretched yourself for people who didn't give back. And part of you learned to accept the minimum in relationships. Minimum effort. Minimum respect. Minimum honesty. Minimum care. But you were not created for minimums. You were created for depth. For connection. For reciprocity. For genuine, healthy love. Say quietly, there is more than enough love for me. Again, there is more than enough love for me. The love you need exists. The love that sees you exists. The love that supports your growth exists. You do not have to chase it. It will align with you when you rise to your true identity. Now let's speak into provision. You've had moments where you worried about money. Moments where you feared losing stability. Moments where you felt trapped by circumstances. But you are not abandoned. Your path is not closed. Your opportunities are not gone. Provision moves toward those who walk in clarity. Provision expands for those who take aligned steps. Provision appears where faith replaces fear. Say softly, there is more than enough provision for my life. Again, there is more than enough provision for my life. Your future is not limited by your present. Your next chapter is not determined by past scarcity. Something in your life is about to open. You can feel it. A quiet expectancy. A subtle hope. A shift you cannot explain. That is the sign that abundance is approaching. Now breathe again. We go deeper. Let's speak into opportunities. There were moments when doors closed. Moments where you felt passed by. Moments where you thought you were too late. But timing is not random. And your timing is shifting now. Some doors closed. Not because you weren't ready, but because the room they led to was too small for your calling. You are growing into bigger rooms. Stronger rooms. Aligned rooms. Rooms where you belong. Say this softly. There are more than enough opportunities designed for me. Again. There are more than enough opportunities designed for me. Your future is not limited by one door. Your destiny is not defined by one outcome. Your story is not dependent on one season. Now we speak into your purpose. Your purpose has been calling you. Sometimes softly. Sometimes loudly. Sometimes through discomfort. Sometimes through dreams. Sometimes through the ache of knowing you're meant for more. And purpose is never withheld. Purpose is revealed slowly, layer by layer, step by step. You are stepping into clarity. Say quietly, there is more than enough purpose inside me. Again, there is more than enough purpose inside me. Your gifts are not small. Your voice is not small. Your influence is not small. You are bigger than you think. Now breathe again. The next part is important. We speak abundance into your identity. Because who you believe you are determines what you believe you deserve. And you have believed small things about yourself. You have believed limited things. You have believed fearful things. But now you rise. Say softly, I am enough for the blessings coming to me. Again, I am enough for the blessings coming to me. This is the truth your life has been waiting for. Now we speak release. Release of old beliefs. Release of old fears. Release of old limits. Release of old identities. Say this slowly. I let go of every thought that tells me I am not worthy of more. Good. This is deep work. This is alignment. This is preparation. Now listen closely. Abundance requires space. Space inside your heart. Space inside your mind. Space inside your life. What you release. Create space for what you are ready to receive. Say softly, I make room for God's abundance in my life. Again, I make room for God's abundance in my life. Your spirit is opening. Your path is widening. Now we seal this moment with declarations of abundance. Speak these slowly inside yourself. There is enough peace for me. There is enough love for me. There is enough opportunity for me. There is enough clarity for me. There is enough strength for me. There is enough guidance for me. There is enough healing for me. There is enough provision for me. There is enough purpose for me. There is enough hope for me. Now breathe. Your life is shifting. Not because you forced anything, but because you opened yourself to receive. You are learning to trust again, to hope again, to believe again. God has more than enough for you. And now, you finally have room to receive it. You are stepping into a season where blessings flow, where clarity grows, where opportunities align, where your heart breathes again, and where your spirit knows deeply, I will never live in scarcity again. Let this final line settle in your soul. My life is expanding, and I am ready to receive more. Your new chapter begins now.